has an incredible story of redemption. After serving 10 years in prison for dealing cocaine, he turned his life around to become the first African-American executive chef of the Cafe Bellagio in Las Vegas. I'm scared of you. Please welcome New York Times best-selling author, Chef Jeff Henderson. You got me going like that. So what a journey you've been on, Chef Jeff. So tell us what the circumstances were. How did things line up that you started dealing drugs?
Well, you know, when I was young, you know, I grew up in a broken family, and I grew up in poverty. And in the early 80s, you know, crack cocaine, you know, took over many inner city communities across this country. And we looked at that as our meal ticket out of the hood into the American dream. And I got caught up in the game and eventually wound up going to prison.
Yeah. And how did prison change your life?
Well, you know, to be honest, there never was an aha moment. You know, it was circumstances and situations that I was in. You know, I began to value education. I read my first book in prison, and which allowed me to begin to see the world through a different set of eyes.
Right. I read that for you, you said that food can be a vehicle to a successful transition from prison to society. So how did you get involved with cooking in prison?
Well, you know, this may sound kind of funny to everyone here, but I actually got fired on my job when I was in prison. Yes,
okay.
You do get fired and you get hired, yes.
That's pretty bad.
Yes.
That's not a good resume, right?
No.
Yeah.
How do you work that into the Bellagio?
Well, you know,
Listen, you got a reference, Jeff?
Yes.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing.
Yeah. Well, I had to tweak it a little bit on the resume.
Right.
Yeah, so I was on what you call the Cadillac crew, where we swept cigarette butts on the prison yard, took advantage of the job, and they fired me, put me in the kitchen on extra duty. And where other inmates saw punishment, I saw an opportunity.
All right.
Yeah.
Right.
Because, you know, in prison, you know, the kitchen is the most important, you know, food is the most important thing to a person serving time. So I got the extra chicken, the extra bananas. I said, this is a place to be.
Right.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Now, when you got out, because it's not easy to come out and just go apply for a job. How did that all happen for you? Well, you became a successful chef. I mean, you got a book, you do amazing things. You're truly inspiring.
Well, you know, for a lot of guys in prison, you know, I believe the turning point was accepting responsibility. And the transition period from prison to society begins when you walk in. You can't just decide that I want to change when I get out. So I had to reimage myself. I had to rebrand myself. And I had to overcome many obstacles, you know, that hurted me when I was locked up. You know, I claustrophobic. I became very paranoia. I became very desensitized. And, you know, earlier, you know, we had a chance to chat, Leah, about an experience of someone in your family or a close friend of yours that served some time with like 4 life sentences.
Oh, yeah, he's currently serving 4 life sentences.
Yeah, so when you talk to him, you know, one of the key things is, you know, you always have to create hope. And I never gave up hope when I was locked up.
Yeah,
I never did.
Right. The non-violent offenders, they get tarred when they come out.
Yeah.
So listen, what have you told your children? You have a beautiful family, by the way. 4 kids, a loving, beautiful wife. Stacy, there they are, gorgeous. What have you told them about your experiences in your past?
Yes. Well, I don't hide anything from my children. You know, transparency is very important. I use all my trial and errors in my life as teaching tools. And, you know, the old school way of thinking in our community, you know, our great-grandparents and grandparents never told us the dark family secrets. So you can't break the cycles of poverty. You can't break the cycles of abuse and parenting issues if you don't talk to the children. So in my family, we expose everything to our children because we want them to know, you know, how we was able to make it in life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the things that I really love what you're doing, and I believe that there are a lot of people like my friend Mike who's serving time that really do want to help, and I love that you are doing that. Now, tell us what you're doing to help people or want to do.
Yes. Well, I've been extremely blessed with my career and have gotten many opportunities to give back. When I'm not in the kitchen, I travel the country. I speak to at-risk young people. I'm in prison, churches, schools, and even corporations. And my message is the power of change. And no matter what deck of cards you were dealt in life, that you can always change that hand. If you find passion and purpose in life, you work hard and you sacrifice. So that's the core of my message. So I believe that all my success is directly tied to my community service work.
I love it.
Yes. All right, well.